Are you ready for this? All right, so I'm like, presentable. I'm wearing long gray shorts and crew socks. That's how my quarantine is going. How's yours? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you are new here, my name is Anna. I post queer, quirky content here on this channel each week. And if that's something you're interested in, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. And in today's video, we are talking about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. No, well, not you and someone else. That's right. We are here to talk about safe sex practices as an LGBTQ plus person. We all know that it is not very well taught in schools when they talk about practicing safe sex. So I know that a lot of queer people come to the internet and research about it because they simply don't know, and that's like not cool to not know how to practice safe sex because you're gay. So I will say I am no expert in this topic. No expert. I am not claiming to be an expert, but I thought I would share some knowledge with you and just give you at least some tips or advice on how to practice safe sex as a queer person, because we need that. So if you're interested in any of these topics, or if you know of anyone that needs this, send it their way and let's get started. So way number one is 100%, without a doubt, use protection. Please use protection. Just because you're gay does not mean you shouldn't use protection. Please. There are plenty of things to use. Condoms, dental dams, birth control for certain LGBTQ couples. There is Truvada, which is, I'm pretty sure, which is PrEP, or also PrEP, and a bunch of different PrEP options. And if you don't know what PrEP is, how many times can I say PrEP? But if you don't know what that is, so it's basically, it's not this. But the best way and the easiest way to describe it is like birth control for HIV. You take it every day and it helps protect you against HIV. So if you're in any relationship, but queer relationships specifically, there's protection out there for you. Please use it. I know it like kills the mood or whatever, but way better to be safe than sorry and end up with something not cute or something not cute and that you cannot get rid of when you could have just used protection. Be smart. Please, if you take anything away from this video, use protection. Please. And way number two is obviously just as important, but always ask for consent and always give consent. Gay sex is sex regardless. Consent is sexy. Consent is cute. Consent is fun. Okay? We are not here for any horrible situations to happen because someone was not able to give consent or someone did not give consent. So it is way better to just ask the question, is this okay? Is that okay? Yes, this is okay. Yes, that is okay. Than to end up in a really horrible situation. So always ask for consent and always give consent when in a sexual or intimate situation. Please. Because I care about you. Me, I care about the fact that you need to give consent. So please do it for me. If for no one else, do it for me. And something that goes hand in hand with the first one is get tested. Like, it's so normal to get tested. When I lived in Indiana, I got tested a few times at literally a free STD, STI, whatever testing clinic. Pretty sure it was called the Damien Center. If it's still around, which I hope it is, I'll link it down below for anyone that lives in Indiana. But I'm sure there are plenty of resources that you can find in your home state or country or wherever you are to find free testing centers, affordable testing centers. But it's so important to get tested if you are having intimate relationships with multiple partners, or your relationship is open and you are sometimes having intimate relationships with others, or just to like be 100% sure, because of course you trust your person and your partner if you're with one person, but like sometimes you never know. So it's always best to get tested, even if it's like you're with the same person for a long time and you just get tested once a year, just so you know. Get tested. It's totally worth it. It's not that bad. People always get really awkward and nervous when it happens, but that's what these people's job is. Like, these people would not have a job if you were not getting tested. So I promise you it's not awkward for them. Yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable, but you'd rather know if you have something than not know and something else turn out worse. So get tested. Trust me, it's not that bad. And the next way is actually research gay sex. Like, research it. That could mean reading articles, watching informative YouTube videos. If this is something that you can do, are of age to do, watch porn. Like, I think a lot of people can attest to the fact that you got some of your gay sex knowledge and information from watching gay porn. Like, that sounds so taboo to say, but for a lot of queer people, that's what you do. And it's fine. Like, if that's something you're comfortable with doing and it's okay for you to do at your age or where you're from or anything like that, do it. But if that's not an option, look up articles. There are plenty of books on queer sex and ways to have queer sex. There are YouTube's, like, specifically LGBTQ sex ed YouTube videos. I'll link some of those down below. There are plenty of options to research it yourself if unfortunately you were not taught about it in school. And actually, I just thought of this, but if you're not taught about it in school, ask your sex education teacher. Like, hey, if you're already out in school, or if you just don't care and you want to ask, or you're a straight ally or whatever it is, hey, where's like the gay sex portion of this, because that matters too, and you know, you haven't taught about that yet. And if maybe they don't know, that would be a learning moment for that teacher. Or if they don't know, maybe they could find resources for you to have. So be proactive, do your research, makes it easier, I guess is the right word. Yeah. Do that. Okay, so the next way to practice safe LGBTQ sex is know that you can say no. Saying no should be normalized in sexual intimacy situations, because if someone is simply wanting to have that moment and you don't want to have that moment, you can say no. If something in that moment and experience is not what you like, you can say no. Or if halfway through you're like, maybe not this time, you can say no. That's totally fine. I've communicated that with my partner. My partner's communicated that with me. Like, sometimes it's just like, no, not the time, on to the next. And that's like 100% fine. So don't be embarrassed to say no. If you're not cool with it, say no. Because ultimately, why in the world would you ever want to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation when it comes to something so intimate and personal to you at all? And if it's simply just something that's making you uncomfortable in the moment, say no and try something else. And if you feel uncomfortable with saying no because you don't want to offend the other person, communicate that. Like, hey, not trying to offend you, this isn't on you, but like, it's a no for me. Let's try something else, or like, let's move on, or like, that's enough for today, you know? It's okay. It is so okay to say no, 100%. And the sixth way to practice safe sex is talk about it first. If you're comfortable with the person that you are going to share this moment with, or if you just want to be extra communicative, which is never a bad thing, like, it makes it way more comfortable in the experience. It's not as taboo as you think it is, because pretty much everyone does it at some point in their lifetime. So talk about it, communicate about it. If you're uncomfortable, or if the other person's uncomfortable, it'll make it feel a little bit less comfortable, and you two can get things that you like or don't like or are scared of or want to try out on the table, ready for you when that moment happens. So if you feel more comfortable talking about it, do it. Don't leave yourself in the unknown when that situation happens, because nobody wants that. Not only will you feel uncomfortable, but if the person that you're sharing that moment with finds out that you felt uncomfortable and they thought you were okay the entire time, they're probably going to feel like really bad about themselves too, because they don't want to feel like they were taking advantage of you. So it'll do everyone a favor and make the process even better. It's not a process, the situation, the moment, the fireworks. You know what I mean? And another reason I actually feel like not a lot of people talk about is, like, not every time is going to be amazing. And that's 100% normal and okay to experience. Like, that doesn't mean you're bad. It doesn't mean the other person's bad. It doesn't mean that your chemistry's off. But, like, not every time is gonna be an A+, a gold star, fireworks, the winning shot of the game. Not every time has to be that way. Don't expect every time to be that way. And if you're cool with it continuing on, even though it isn't amazing, or if you want to stop halfway through because it's just not vibing with you, like, that's okay. Just don't be hard on yourself, or don't let the other person be hard on themselves because, like, something fell off one time. Because there's gonna be moments where you do the deed and it's not 100%. That's okay. It's totally fine. Don't read too far into that. If every single time is like that, maybe read into it, but it doesn't always have to be. Similar to the talking about it first part, also carry that conversation into the moment and communicate throughout the experience, because that'll help you figure out what the other person likes, it'll help the other person figure out what you like, and it just leaves room for open dialogue to be had throughout the process. I keep saying process. Why do I say process? That's weird. Throughout the moment, throughout the experience, throughout the cha-cha-cha, yeah? If you want to bring it up to your partner or whoever you are sharing that moment with, like, hey, can we kind of, like, talk to each other throughout it? Like, communicate? No, okay, wait, don't, like, hey, how was your day? Hey, my day was great. How was your day? What do you want for dinner? I mean, if that's what you're into. Okay, but that's not what I mean. Like, communicate what they like, what you like, what's going on, how you two are feeling, all that good stuff. It makes it better. And way number 9 is spell it out first. Before you do the deed, don't lead the other person on, or don't let yourself get led on. And what I mean by that is, one, it's okay to need a connection before you share that moment with someone. If you're not a one night stand type of person, or if you're not someone that can just like do the deed with someone just because, that's okay, and that shouldn't make you feel like you're not cool enough. It's fine. If you need a connection, you need a connection. But on the flip side, if you don't need a connection and you're just there for the fun, that's totally valid too. But either way, spell it out for the other person so that they know what they're getting themselves into. You never want to be the person that just wants to have fun and end up with someone that feels like they're really clingy because they actually thought they had a deeper connection with you, but you just did it for the fun, or vice versa. Not leading someone on is a good thing, people. Okay, I don't know what some of these people are thinking about having fun, leading people on, and ish. It's a waste of time and it hurts people really bad. So don't do it, and don't get stuck in it because it's not worth it. Just communicate. Last but certainly not least, do not rush this moment for yourself. Your time to have this intimate moment with a person does not need to be rushed for anyone. I don't care if you're 35, if you're 45, or if you're 17 and you feel like it's too late. You have that moment when you're comfortable with yourself, when you're comfortable with the other person, when you know what you're getting yourself into, and you, at the end of the day, feel like it is the right thing to do. Then you do it. No one can tell you how old you have to be, or how young you have to be, or anywhere in between. Your time is yours. Let it be yours. Don't let anybody rush you into it because they really like you and they really want to get it on. No, absolutely not. Because that is not what? Way number 2, consent. You might potentially end up feeling really guilty about it or bad about yourself for it, and no one has time for that. I don't want you to feel bad for yourself, and I would sure hope that the other person that you share that moment with wouldn't want you to feel bad about yourself either. So don't rush it. It's not worth it. Your day will come. And also, a quick PSA for all of my asexual spectrum people: sex isn't everything. So if you don't want it at all, or if you want it less than someone else, that's totally valid too. So don't think if you feel like you're different or wrong, you're different or wrong. You're just not like someone else, and that's okay. I'm simply making this video to help educate people that are interested in this potentially one day, or need better resources on safe sex within the LGBTQ plus community. Everyone is valid within all their sexual experiences or none of their sexual experiences. If you have none, you're valid. All right, class, we are done. Just kidding, I am not a teacher. But it felt good to feel like I'm hopefully helping some people out with this video. And like I said, I am no expert. I'm simply just sharing things that I think would be helpful information for queer people to know if they are on the hunt to learn about safe sex practices. I hope these helped you out. If you know of any safe sex for gay people resources or videos or books or anything like that, please leave them in the comments down below so this can be a hub for resources for anyone that needs it. Like this video if you enjoyed this kind of teaching type of video or informational type of video. If you did, I can totally do more of these. Just like this video so that I know that you do want more of those. And I guess you could also let me know if you have any other ideas for different ones in the future in the comments. So, of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video and turn your push notification bell on as well. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye!